All right, Mr. Allen and Riverdog Jenny here. We're about to do some math on how we figured out if our dock was going to be allowed or not, and our boat lift. Isn't that right, Jenny? Does that sound good? Yeah? All right, so stay tuned here. We're going to have some very exciting, fun math to do that involves laying out stuff and getting it approved by the county, the DNR, and all of the wonderful people that are involved in these things. Hey, Jenny, want to do some math? Come here. All right, day one of Math in the Wild with Riverdog Jenny and Mr. Allen. All right, Jenny, come over here. Come here. Up here, up here. We got to figure out some stuff. All right. All right. So first math problem. When we were planning out this wonderful dock and boat setup here, we had to make sure that we didn't have these posts to the left of the boat go over the property line that extends out. However, this dock, because this retaining wall here, we wanted it to run perpendicular to that. Ooh, math word, math word. It actually goes out on a slight angle compared to the lot line. So I had to set up a math problem, which is what we're about to do here. Does that sound good, Jenny? You gonna give me a hand, or a paw rather? All right, perfect. All right, Jenny. So we got this this structure down here. So I decided to use this as my point of reference. What do you think, Jenny? We're gonna create a little math problem out of that. So I'm gonna take two measurements, one from each post, and then the distance between those two posts to see how much my lot is like off from the way that the dock and boat setup is going out, right? Because if I know over a certain distance it changes, I can extend that distance out and make sure that those posts on the left don't go over that extended lot line. You ready to help? Got your TI-84 with the hashtag YORO. You only round once, right, Jenny? Gotta be accurate. That sounds good to me. All right, so first thing we gotta do, we gotta take some measurements, Jenny. Luckily, we are always strapped with a 30-foot tape measure. Now we'll see how well this works. My plan on this was, well, I've got a couple points of reference down here with this big post that we have. So I wanted to take, we got right about 60 inches there, a little less, but we'll go with 60 for now. Or, you know, why don't we keep it, yeah, we'll go 60. Okay. Then we've got this guy over here. Pardon all the junk we got here. It's not summer yet. We have everything stored away. And over here to that retaining wall, which is basically our lot line, it's right about 47 and a half, 48. Since we rounded up before, we'll go with 48. So we had 60 and 48. Now, how far apart are these posts? Let's see if I can hook this bad boy here and keep it all good all the way along. I don't know. What do you think, Jenny? She's going out to yell at birds. Okay. So we've got about 178 inches between. Okay, we'll go with that. So we got 60, 48, and 178. All right. So now it's time to draw a picture. All right, so we got our diagram here. We've got 60 inches to the first post, go 178, and then there's only 48 inches. So we need some more dimensions here, I'm thinking. What do you think, Jenny? Yeah. All right. So what we really want to know is how far out that last post way out there is from this post here, right? We want to know what that actual distance is heading out there. So what we can do as well, I've got Jenny out there now to help us, and hopefully this wind isn't too bad. The last post is in line with this particular motor right here for the boat lift, okay? So we're going to come back. It's 10 feet for each post spacing. So that's 10 feet, 20 feet. Am I counting right, Jenny? And then 30 feet to this one. So I'm thinking if I hook my tape here, we'll see if we can do it. Jenny, you want to help hold the tape measure? Okay, I got it. I'll get it on my own. I'm going to pull back from this one to this post over here, which ends up being about, whoop, there we go, got some stuff in the way, but right around 237 inches. All right, so if I add 30 feet to that 237, that should give us our total distance out from the last post there, and we'll see how far over it's going. Does that sound good, Jenny? Think you can help me with that? I guess I'm on my own. All right. All All right, let's draw this out. So we said that the first post is 237 inches out, so we're gonna make that 237. There's my first post. Then 3 more posts spanning 10 foot each, right? So that's then a total of 360 inches. Okay, which makes this a total of 597 inches. Okay, so how the heck do we math this out? We want to just make sure that this last post here is not over this line right here, right? So we want to make sure that we don't go past 0 inches for this particular measurement. So I guess that's the measurement we want, right? We want to know what this is, so I'll call that X. Okay, I'm into that. So let's see if we can set up, it looks like kind of a similarity type of problem, right? So first off, we go from 60 inches here, we travel 178 inches, we went in 12, right? So then we want to know if we travel this full length, how much we'd go over, right? All right, so I decided to switch to a green marker for some work here to differentiate. So let's see what we can set up here. I'm seeing some similarity in fun proportions and stuff like that going on, but I mean, we have to figure out how we're gonna set it up and what our answer actually even means once we finish out. Does that sound good, Jenny? Okay. So what I'm noticing is that after 178 inches, I am 12 inches closer. 48, 60, the difference is 12. 12 inches closer to the lot line. So perhaps I can set up 12 over 178 equals something. Well, I want to know my horizontal change, so to make sure that it doesn't go over the lot line, right? That's what I want to know. How far is this post going to move comparatively speaking to the rest of the things? So how about I figure out maybe from this point here over the 597 inches, how far this is going to move over, right? So if I go X over 597, well, this isn't really like our actual distance away. We'll have to interpret it later. But why don't we cross multiply and solve? So 12 times 597 gives me 7,164. And then I'd have 178x, so I'll divide by 178. I'll get x equals 40.247. And it goes on forever. Okay, so that means now that from this point here, I'm going to move over a little over 40 inches once I get to this post, right? So I guess I have to figure out, well, where is my dock starting and how much it's going to move over. So it sounds like we got to do a few more measurements. All right, Jenny, you ready to do a little more measuring? Yeah? Thanks for joining me again. All right, so we know how far it's going to move from this point on to here. Horizontally, it's going to move 40 inches, right? Okay, so we're going to find out how far over. So our dock is in line with this deck here, okay? So if I know where it starts relative to these two posts, if I know how far off the lot line my dock is, then I will know how much it's going, or how close it's going to get to that property line when we talk about out there, okay? Alrighty, so I'm going to take a measurement from the inside of this post and add 48 inches, because I'm 48 inches off there, according to what we took before, right? Then we'll measure all the way to the outside of the deck over here, because that's where my dock is, in line, all right? Now, all this stuff was all figured out when we were drawing these up, but now we have it here. This is just the math I had to do prior. So I'm going to hook here on the inside of the post. Let's see if I can get it. It's going to be a little tricky with the wind, and it's a rounded post. So I'm going to hop on over. That is unfortunate right there. Let's see if I can wedge this thing in. Okay, there we go. It's a problem when the post is all rounded off there from natures and things. All right, so we're sitting at 178.5 inches right over here, and actually the dock is we're going to call it 178 because that's about where the dock is lined up with. Okay. All right, so 178 is that number there to where the dock starts. Let's jot that down. So, oh, that's pretty crazy. It's the same thing. Who would have thought? All right, so 178 inches, okay? So that's, and then plus the 48 is my total off the lot line for my dock right now. I think I'm gonna need another dry erase board to finish this off. All right, so I've updated a little drawing here. What we just measured was the 178 plus the 48 gives me 226. So from this post right here, or right over out here where it's in line with the inside of the dock, that to the lot line is 226 inches. Okay. Now, according to our drawing, we have 597 inches out to this post here. Okay. So I want to figure out how far over, well, we actually already figured out how far over this thing's going to move over 597 inches, right? It was 40.247. Well, if I add 40.247 to this number, and I forgot to explain how I got that, I chose to have a 12-foot span there from post to post for my boat to fit, right? So from this post to the dock, it's 12 feet, all right? So 12 feet is 144 inches. So if I take 144 inches, and I know that I've also moved over 40 inches over the course of the length there, that 597, right? We solved that in our proportion. Well, 144 plus 40, 0.247. Really, the decimals at this point are kind of unnecessary because, as we can see here, I'm at 180, almost put 184 inches. That is certainly less than 226, right, which is how far this was back here. And knowing that I'm going to scooch 40.247 inches over compared to this, well, this number is less than this number, which means I'm actually still a good few feet off the lot line according to these wonderful numbers here. So this is all good to go here, and that's actually how I got this thing all approved via the DNR, the county, and all sorts of fun stuff is actually working out this particular math here and putting it all on graph paper rather than on dry erase boards and a dope video like we're doing right here. That is the first attempt at math in the wild. So hopefully they get better from here on out. Remember, children, America, freedom, rock and roll, and Costco. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Math in the Wild with Mr. Allen and River Dog Jenny. Does that sound good, Jenny? You're done with the math, aren't you? All right, let's go play and chase squirrels. Sound good? All right.